Welcome back. It's Jennifer from Afternoons on KOMA. It is Friday. We have an awesome 80s weekend, and back in, it's Noble McIntyre of McIntyre Law. Hello.
Thanks for having me again today.
Yes, as always, it's so fun when you're here. If they need to get a hold of you, what's that number?
It's 777-7000. I don't care which area code you use because any one of them will reach me. So just 777-7000, you'll get right to me.
There you go. Or ask Noble at tylermedia.com. Either one.
Yep.
So we got that out of the way. It's awesome 80s weekend. We're going to talk 80s. Is there anything in the 80s that you would maybe want to take back? Like, I don't think that I would put my Saved by the Bell poster next to my Guns N' Roses poster.
I mean, Milli Vanilli.
Yeah.
Parachute pants.
Oh,
remember parachute pants?
Yes.
And so back in the day, if you've ever been to Falls Creek, which is a church camp, you couldn't wear shorts back in my day. They can today, but back then you couldn't. So you had jams. And jams were just some funky shorts that would go all the way to your knee. I would never wear jams today. I would definitely take back jams.
Kids would trade the jams without washing them. I remember this.
At Falls Creek?
Well, at Falls Creek or anywhere in school even.
Yep. The kids today listening to this, they've never even heard of jams. They don't even know what jams is, but they were just, we had jams, and I would definitely take that back. I had some MC Hammer parachute pants too.
No.
I would think, how about members only jacket? I think I'm the last member, but probably my members only jacket.
Members only. People still wear that. I do see those out. Yeah.
Those are the last members. There's only a handful left.
Yeah. How about jellies? I never had any jellies, so I'm pretty clear of that. Those shoes that.
Oh, yep. I remember those. I never had any of those either.
Like deformed your toes after a while.
I mean, I was just looking through a list here trying to see if there's anything else like that, but it's just, just from a clothing standpoint, how about girls with their big shoulder pads?
Oh, right.
Those shoulder pads were huge in the day. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women that wouldn't do that again.
It was all like the dynasty craze,
Well, how about after Madonna, she had the gloves with no fingers in them?
That's right.
And girls started wearing those. I bet that people would take that back.
And lots of lace and stuff like that. They probably would.
But I loved the 80s. The 80s was my era. I had a great time. Certainly, we wouldn't do that as an adult, some of that stuff, but it was a great time to grow up.
It'll never happen again.
No. We didn't have phones. We just had friends.
Yeah.
So it was a different time to grow up.
And
today.
When we did have phones, it had a really long cord that we could get
to the
all
wall
around
in
the
kitchen,
house.
And you try to get in another room so your parents couldn't hear you. If I wanted to call and talk to a girl, I ran the risk her father may answer the phone. And so today it's not. These kids don't have to go through that today.
Parents don't know what their kids are doing
or who they're talking to. My parents did because they would call the house. But kids, they don't even know who they're talking to, what they're doing, where they're going. It's crazy times.
Oh, scary. I'm glad I grew up in the 80s too.
I am too.
And I may sound old, but everything smiled, it seemed like, in the 80s.
It was just a great time. I mean, I found an old video the other day when I was in high school. High school homecoming. I was a football player. And, I had my car and people around talking. There wasn't a cell phone taking anybody's distraction away. Everybody was talking, laughing, having a great time. If you did that today, it would be completely different. Everybody would be staring at their phone.
And they do. People sitting next to each other and they text each other right then.
I have had my daughter send me a text asking if I could get something for her. And I looked up and I said, "You're literally right across from me. Why don't you just ask me the question?" It's 8 feet away and she texted me.
We're going to get to where our species doesn't talk anymore. They're going to breed out the vocal cords.
Exactly.
It'll just be... Speaking of people being distracted by their phones, I had three pedestrians today, because I live downtown, not obey the traffic rules. And they're very trusting nowadays.
Yep.
They walk when it says don't walk. They just don't even look. They look at their phones. We've seen videos of people falling into manholes because they looked at their phones. I mean, as far as your rights, if you're the driver and they're the pedestrian, I mean, how does that even work if there's an accident?
Well, you as a driver have a right to assume that others are going to obey the law, absent it being a minor child that is not yet to the age of accountability. So if you're in a neighborhood, you need to be anticipating a little kid could run out from a car. They're not going to be held responsible. But if you're going through somewhere where there's a crosswalk and you have a green light, you have a right to assume other people are going to follow the law. So if you go through that light at speed, you're not going to be at fault if you hit somebody unless you're drunk. That could undo that. But if you're doing everything right as a driver, somebody else, even a pedestrian, ignores the law, steps off a curb where there's not a crosswalk, walks out in front of you where there is a crosswalk but against a red light, they're going to be responsible for their own injuries absent you having done something like speeding or drinking.
it's like people are so distracted nowadays. It's so different than it used to be. Even coming out of a parking garage, the pedestrians don't even look. Can they? They can't hear the car or something, or they're distracted.
Just, everybody's in their own world, and you're right. There's 1,000 distractions. This phone that everybody has in their hand is one of them, but you still have to be responsible for your own actions. And so, a pedestrian has to be alert and on duty, just like a driver does.
Yeah. So back on pedestrians, if they're into the intersection and there's a countdown of they have like 10 seconds left, they still have that right, don't they, until it hits zero?
And even then, when the clock hits zero, there's still a couple seconds before the light changes. It's not instantaneous, which is why you'll have people rush across at the last minute. But if they're in a crosswalk and the countdown's occurring and there's even a second left, they're there legally. And if you hit them, then you were there illegally as a driver because your light wouldn't have changed yet. So there are people that push that, but if they're in that crosswalk and there's a countdown and it's still going, they're where they're supposed to be.
Okay, and make sure you're in a crosswalk. You're not jaywalking.
Right. Yeah,
I noticed
because you lose your rights. If you step out of a crosswalk, even if somebody should have seen you, you're going to have a harder time as a plaintiff because there was a crosswalk you could have crossed at. Everybody does it. Nobody walks down. Now, a lot of people don't want to walk off. Even though it's 100 feet, they just want to cross right where they are. You see that at Thunder games all the time. Mm-hmm. People park in the parking garage. They don't go down to the intersection and walk across. They just walk across. You're putting yourself at risk.
Yeah, make sure you walk in crosswalks and obey the rules. They just hit me this morning because not literally, but I just was like, "Do you guys not look to see?" They're
not. Which is why, as a driver, you need to be hyper alert because people are out there doing stupid stuff.
Yeah, that's for sure. More people walking too, so you got to watch out. All right, thank you, Noble McIntyre.
Thanks for having me.
As always, great advice. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.